Hey guys, Choko Bilago here. Welcome to another exciting video. Today I want to explain to you guys, reason why inflation is happening globally, and the reason why Nigeria is also having a hyperinflation. Okay, so let's watch this video. Then I'll give you my explanation as to why the inflation is occurring.
That's the cost of living crisis. Suddenly we went up from prices being around there to prices being there. And you don't really see that in this data, okay? Because inflation is really just measuring the difference between that and that. And if you look at those two lines, you're talking about a 2.3% change. That's the number we're talking about today. But for a lot of people, it's not about that. It's about the difference between this and that. And when you look at the difference between this and that, that's 20%. And I think that's the dichotomy here between these inflation numbers where it looks normal and this, which is really not normal at all.
All right, so for those who don't understand, okay, he was trying to point out that when data is released, or when economic data concerning the inflation in any country is announced, okay, they do what is called year to date, which means they check from 2023 to 2024. Now if you enter next year, okay, you do year to date, so which means if you are doing January to January, or January 2024 to January 2025, they will now give you like that small inflation in percentage based on that window. But the current inflation is not because of 2023. The current inflation is because of 2020. What happened in 2020? COVID happened. And guess what? A lot of money was printed by government and distributed by as stimulus in the West. I'm not talking about Nigeria. In the West, okay? In the West, trillions of dollars was printed and distributed either to individuals or for the vaccine, pushing of the vaccine or whatever you have it, okay? So now, whenever inflation happens, inflation simply means that there is excess money in circulation. Now, when we're talking about assets, this is more than assets. And guess what? Everybody is feeling the pain of that inflation. So hence, the Western countries are increasing interest, doing a lot of things to like mop up that money in circulation, okay? And guess what? African countries or third world countries like Nigeria who take loans, loans from IMF, World Bank, and from different banks, okay? The businesses here that are global have investors who are in, the West, okay? So the banks have investment, banks in the West have investment here. So guess what will happen? Whenever there is any economic effort to reduce the excess cash in circulation, it trickles down to us. So whenever there is an increase in rate, it affects here. Now the problem with here is that no stimulus was given out to anybody. No stimulus was given out to businesses. No stimulus was given out to individuals. So when you are now wondering why is this inflation now hurting us, is because we didn't receive any stimulus check. Money was not distributed to people. Hence, we are now paying the price of what's happening in the West. I don't know how to put it this way. So, when the West is now making those tightening economic decisions, we are undergoing a very tight pain. And one of the ways to, overcome this pain is to ensure that proper things are done, like reducing the cost of governance, which in the essence, I don't see the reduction of the cost of governance in Nigeria, apart from subsidy being, quote, removed, when we know that in a way it's not actually removed. But the point I'm trying to make is this. This inflation was caused by the stimulus check and the stimulus that occurred in stimulus check or the relief funds or whatever you wanted to call it, that was distributed in 2020, 2021, and hence the cost of living has to increase to match the excess cash in circulation. Now, we in Africa, we in Nigeria are feeling the pain because we didn't get those checks. So we didn't get anything from COVID. Hence, this high increment is now dealing with us mercilessly, because the government has to raise cash to be able to pay their obligations, and guess what? They're going to tax everybody, do this, do that, and guess what? The ordinary man is the one paying the price. So this is my 2 cents about this. I know I didn't do much justice, but I hope you get the idea. Take care and bye for now.